Mindset Mashup podcast here. We are, and today, honestly, the guests I've been getting on these days, there's something special. Let's just say that there's something special, and like today, we get to spend 5 minutes with an Olympian, middle distance athlete runner, youngest winner on the national of 1500 meters, business owner. So just a big welcome to Charlie Grice. Charlie, how you doing, man?
Thanks, George. Yeah, pleasure to be here. Doing well. Yeah, good to meet face to face.
Good. So, look, we've got 5 minutes, so let's get straight into it. So, obviously, Olympian, you've represented the country, you trained hard, and I'm wondering, obviously, the name of the podcast is Mindset Mashup. So, when you're going through the training, when you're training athletes now, what part of how big is the mindset have to play in the performance side of what you guys do?
I think the mindset's massive. There's so many people that have talent, but it's the mindset and it's, having the determination to go the extra mile. There's a lot of people that have talent, but they don't reach their full potential. So yeah, I think it's really important to know where you want to go, put a plan in place and surround yourself with good people. And I've been very fortunate in my career so far to be surrounded by great people, had really good coaches that have, guided me along this journey that I'm on.
What would you say is one of the biggest take homes that you've sort of like faced, and yeah, what's it taught you about yourself, about mindset, and how it's helped you
Yeah,
to
I
progress where you
think
are now?
in athletics we have the indoor season and the outdoor season. We don't compete that much. Like you'd be training for say 3-4 months before the season starts, and I think it's just having like the plan in place, knowing the competitions and working back from that, and each year being consistent, showing up every day, trying to avoid being injured. I think that's kind of that's one of the main takeaways I think that I've learned from athletics is just showing up, getting the work done. It's not always going to be pretty. It's not always going to be Instagrammable, but people, it's the people it's what they don't see. That's the stuff that needs to get done. And so I think just, yeah, keep it fun. That's what I always tell younger athletes: go out for a run with your friends, keep it social, keep it fun, because running is hard and it's hard on the body, and it's hard. It's just as much as a mental grind as it is physical.
Yeah,
So yeah, the hardest part, even at someone at my level, is the hardest part is getting out the door some days. Like you don't want to go for a run, but you feel amazing after. And yeah, I'd encourage anyone to take up running. We're very fortunate in the UK. We've got the park run, which is a great weekend on Saturday morning. Anyone can turn up and go run a 5K. I just think that's awesome.
yeah, it is. And I started running start of COVID, like probably a lot of people, and yeah, It's changed me. You're absolutely right. I'm still running to this day. I think I've done. Last year was my consecutive year doing 1,000K in a year. That might not sound a lot to you, but managing that round sort of a job and doing this, and now I'm self-employed and manage it around that and I love it. And I'll get out there. Like this morning was like that. It was pissing down with rain. Got out there still and come back, and yeah, I was proud. I was proud of myself as I
Yeah, yeah.
started today well.
A few, man. Yeah. No, and that's the thing is you can get fit pretty quick. If you just you get out there, you go for a 20-minute run, you go around the block, you got your little route you do, and then you try and do it twice.
Yeah,
Next thing
for
you know,
sure.
you go do a park run, then you're looking at maybe entering a 10K. And that's kind of how my career's gone. I started off at school level, county level, then you're comparing yourself to the kids in the country. Rank. That's the great thing about athletics, is that you're either good enough or you're not, based on your times, which I quite liked.
Yeah, it's
Whereas,
good to have like
like,
that measure, isn't it? And you said just before I sort of move on to the next question, I just want to say you said one of my favorite things, which is always tried to come back to on the podcast, which is it's all about what gets done on the unseen. And Charlie, obviously being an Olympian, you type your name into Google, we get to see the result of what you do in the unseen. But often what people don't see is those days that you probably don't want to go out for a run or you don't want to do something. And I think I really try to highlight that because I think social media has really sort of taken away our ability to see things for what they are, which is actually when you get the title, you're the youngest person to win a 1500. When you get to the Olympics and places like that, what they don't see is all the hours, all the sacrifices that happen before you get to that point. And I think I don't know why, I just really love that about sports in general. I love looking behind what we see, the trophy or the medal or whatnot.
Yeah, totally agree with you there. Social media, as good as it is, it's very fake, and people are only posting snippets of their lives and the best moments, but you don't know if what goes on behind the scenes. If they're truly happy, or what goes into that result that you're seeing. There's a lot of heartbreak, a lot of injuries, a lot of ups and downs, and I think it's important that people are transparent about the journey, because it's
It
not all
encourages people. It encourages people
always
to
going to be
think.
sunshine and rainbows. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
people love a comeback story, and people love a rags to riches story. And I think it's just being real about what this entails, because I think even me personally, I'm not fully transparent on how tough like training's been or the journey, but I think it's good that people talk more about what it takes to get to the top.
100%. And obviously, you're now a business owner as well. Affinity Altitude. Just sort of a quick one off the cuff. I'm aware that these 5 minute episodes are getting longer than 10 minutes, longer than 5 minutes to get closer to 10. But Affinity Altitude. I mean, just if I was to say, like, what would you say is one of the biggest lessons you learned from sort of going into the business world? What what would you say?
Um, what like a good thing, or about like
Any whatever. If it's a bad thing, say it. If it's a good thing,
yeah,
say
no,
that.
I think I mean, running a business is not easy. You have to you're doing marketing, you're doing accounting, you're doing everything under the sun. And I think um go into what you're passionate about. For me, I tried to solve a problem that I had. So I was sleeping in an altitude tent, and we tried to better the product. It was quite a bulky, loud system. Me and my friend, we started the company back in 2015, and since then we've been working with lots of governing bodies, top athletes, F1 drivers, Olympic gold
Wow.
medalists, to improve their performance. So for those that don't know, sleeping in an altitude tent, it reduces the amount of oxygen, which then increases your red blood cell count, which is one of the number one markers of performance for in endurance sports. And it's been a journey, and we're still out there, we're still producing products, and it's been difficult with COVID and Brexit, but we see ourselves as one of the leading altitude suppliers in the world, and we also help mountaineering people that want to climb Everest and that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
before they go to altitude. So it's cool. And we talk to a lot of different athletes, triathletes, cyclists, you name it, or anyone that's trying to increase their performance. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Definitely looking at getting into other businesses in the future, but it's been a great learning curve. I mean, I'm quite into entrepreneurship, and I read a lot of books on it and stuff, and they say that like your first business might not be your biggest business, but it's all until you get out there in the field and start learning and doing it, then there's no better learning than getting out there.
Yeah, I think there's a massive connection between sports and business, to be honest. I think there's such a big like correlation between them in the unseen and the sort of dealing with failures, being resilient and things like that. So uh no, definitely. And Charlie, just as a final question, I hope obviously now you're on the 5 minute episode, which is probably going to have to be renamed to 10 minutes soon. Um who would you like to see on the series? Who would you like to see come on here?
Oh, sorry, bro. Oh,
That's all right. That's fine. You're back. You're back.
yeah. You have to get on your editing skills there. Sorry, I
um,
missed it. Was that a
that's fine.
question?
That's fine. That's fine. That's gonna stay in there, by the way. Like, that's gonna stay in. But yeah, no, Charlie. So, all I said there was, look, you're on the 5 minute series now, and I'd love for you to keep watching. If you were to watch again, who would you really like to hear from? UK based. Yeah. Who would you love to hear from? Who'd you love to hear me do an interview with?
A UK based good friend of mine, Adam Jamili. I'd like to get you talking with him. I think he's very experienced. He's been one of the best sprinters in the world for a long time, and he's still going. We both did our coaching course about 6 weeks ago.
Oh, cool. Cool.
So yeah,
that's a good one. 'Cause hopefully you can put me in touch with him as well. So so that's even better. Well, look, Charlie, it's been a pleasure. If everyone's watching, let me know how you want me to do this, because I can start putting what I'm taking away from these podcasts in the descriptions, or I can do further videos. So let me know. But listen, if you're still here, don't forget to subscribe, like, and just do all that stuff that helps, because it just allows us to grow as a platform. And yeah, but for now, we'll see you next time. God bless.